Yo, what's up, Once again, it's your boy Goody Mo, the comedian, and this is the Goody Mo Show. On today's episode, I have a very special guest, one of my close friends and a person that mentors me in this game. ONNEY, she is a movie producer, she is a poet, she's a director, she does it all. Welcome to the Goody Mo Show, ONNEY. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Okay. I'm excited to be here.
I like your outfit.
Thank
you.
Give
me that Mary J. Blige 90s,
You know, when you get past
looking
45,
for real love,
looking for real love, Okay,
I see. You got that girl trip vibe going on. I like it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because you know me, I'm gonna get in your business like you say. I'm gonna just get in your business just a little bit.
Let's see what it do then, baby.
Okay, what it do. Okay, so tell me, ONNEY, as a kid, tell the people, how were you as a kid? Did you play sports? Were you a good kid? Did you come from a single parent household? Did you have both parents?
Slow down. That's a lot of questions. Wait a minute. Okay, so we're going to have a conversation, not an interrogation, but we're going to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So, all could be true. Mm-hmm. and still matter. So initially, yes, I came from a household that was together.
Okay.
Of course, my mom and my dad, they divorced.
Okay.
So I had both the single parent and the non-single parent household. Okay. When we moved from Sunnyside, we moved to Ridgemont Folk. And then we moved to Broadgate, which is, the heart of most cities. So I grew up pretty much my adolescent years in Missouri City. Mm-hmm. I was a tomboy, and it seems as soon as I realized that I looked halfway decent in the dress, it wasn't long before I got pregnant, being fast. So,
okay. What age was that, if you don't
I got pregnant at 15,
okay.
And I had my first son at 16.
Okay.
He's now 30.
Okay.
So I had my first son at 16, and that pretty much pushed me to do more, but I still was like young with kids. Like I had 3 kids by the time I was 23.
Okay.
So having 3 kids by the age of 23, of course they tell you you're a statistic, you might not be nothing, might not have nothing, you're gonna be government assistance your whole life type deal. But I really wasn't raised like that. My mom was a hard worker, and even though I feel like I've exceeded her wildest dreams as far as the accomplishments that I have had so far, I still am not done. But I will go back to say that I'm thankful for my kids. They made me want to do better and have more. But what landed me as being a single parent was, I had to get away from abusive marriage that wasn't conducive to what I wanted my kids to see.
Okay.
A woman is treated like. Now my youngest son's father, Tremont, he has a different dad than my 2 oldest boys' dad.
Okay.
And we had a more amicable divorce. He stepped outside.
So you've been married twice?
Yes, I've been married twice. He stepped outside the marriage, had a baby, and I was like, okay, they should get out of jail free card.
Okay, so you're going to get out of jail free?
To me, because it's like, you have a baby now, so you have another family and I know that even though I could forgive you for what you've done, every time I would see your son, and he's an amazing young man today, every time I would see his son, it would remind me of what happened or what he did, and it was unfair to force it. I don't come from I'ma love you till death do us part. I believe that if loving you is killing me, I'm gone. I'm not finna stick around. I don't believe in struggle love. So
you don't believe? So you're saying that will you give your mate, your person that you talk to, your significant other, will you give him a chance? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I have deal breakers. Everybody should have deal breakers. They're called boundaries for a reason.
Oh, okay.
So 2 of my main deal breakers is don't beat on me and don't cheat on me.
Okay.
So my first husband, he beat on me. He cheated on me too, but I left him for beating on me.
Okay.
Then when my second husband cheated on me, I was like, well, nah, I'm not doing that either. Okay. So you have to kind of like have boundaries. I don't come from the era of women who take pride in being married for 30 years, but they have stepkids that's 15 and 16 years old. So what did you have to stay and put up with just so you could have the bragging right of being dumb for 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some type of self-value. And with me having 3 sons, I don't want them to think that it's okay to treat a woman any way other than how you would want a man to treat me.
Gotcha.
And so I had to make the decision to separate. Now, don't get me wrong, like, my youngest son's dad, we have a very, very healthy co-parenting relationship. Like, I love his wife. I'm cool with him. I don't wish him no bad. Like, we adults, we grown up with it. So it is what it is. We was like best friends in a way, and we messed around on one of them foggy nights, and it was like, you know, so I didn't want to have.
I understand. I got 2 kids.
I didn't want to have 3 kids, 2 baby daddies, and no man. So it made sense to get married. So it was
we're entertainers. We have we have our lives too. So do you so let me ask you this question. So did your parents get divorced after you had your kids, or before?
Oh no,
you
way
had your
before
kids?
then.
So my next question is segue into that. Do you think that it made an effect on you by having a kid early because of your parents getting divorced? You think if your parents were together,
I won't say
you wouldn't have the kid, or
what I would say is, and this is no pun on my mom or whatever, or my dad.
Okay.
What I would say is, I think a lot of things that happened to me growing up and me discovering sex at such a young age, maybe that wouldn't have happened if my father was allowed in my life, period. Not meaning if he would have stayed in the household with my mom, because they alone had their own toxic relationship. And I appreciate my mother. I'd rather be raised in a broken, functional home than a together dysfunctional home. So as far as her decision to leave my father, I think she made the right decision. I feel like her decision to not allow my father to be in our lives because he wasn't paying child support, I think was a bad decision, because you really can't equate time for money in that aspect. Like, he was going through things in his life, and she was also going through things. And I know that being a mother myself, you can be pretty bitter when you think about the doctor's appointments, the paying all the bills, the being responsible for everything. Why is mama's baby's daddy's maybe? Maybe he'll show up, maybe he won't, but mama got to do it anyway. So it pisses a mom off. Like, and these days we got social media, so for a woman to see her baby daddy down her timeline popping bottles in the club, buying sections, and he ain't bought his son no tennis shoes for school, it'll make you angry. You see what I'm saying? So I could understand where she was coming from with, like, if you don't take care of your kids, you don't need to see them. But I do feel like if he was allowed in my life when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have ended up a teenage mom.
Gotcha. Very, very interesting story. So let me ask you this question right here. Would you rather get cheated on or be the side chick?
Neither. I've been cheated on. I've never been a side chick.
Okay.
So, and if I was a side chick, I didn't know it.
Okay.
My relationships have always been like long, monogamous relationships.
Okay.
So I've been cheated on. I probably have one relationship in my life that I've never been cheated on.
Okay.
That I know of.
All right. Okay.
So.
Okay. So good emotion. You know me. My mind is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I always know my mind. Nothing. Just a little stuff. A little something. So after high school, no. Let me. I'm kind of jumping ahead to the scene. What inspired you to get into poetry? Because we all know that you're one of your many talents that you have.
Well,
you're a poet. What did Maya Angelou,
it's crazy
Langston Hughes, or who inspired you?
I was married at the time, and I was like 19, and I started writing poetry in my journal. And my kid's father was like, "Oh, that's junk." Like, he literally like threw away my journal, and he made me feel like I wasn't good enough. So when I moved back to Houston, I joined a play called Romantasm that was going to be in Vegas. And at the time we were doing our table reads here, and Dr. K.G. Bell, shout out to Dr. K.G. Bell, who's one of my mentors. He was like this world-renowned poet and playwright, and I just looked up to him so much. And I remember being at a table read, and I had wrote my poetry down, and I slid it over to him, and I was like, can you read this? So he was like, well, everybody, can I get everybody's attention? Miss Laws would like to share something with us. And he made me read my poetry in front of the whole table read, and everybody was like clapping. And so then he had me talk to Frank Jones, rest in peace. He was also my mentor. He's the one that gave me the name ONNEY, which means to desire to be great. He was like, I need you to go down to the Red Cat. And it wasn't Sam Pink. I can't remember who it was, but the owner of the Red Cat at the time, he said, and tell them KG and Frank sent you. I didn't know, but it's certain people that could tell you to do something. You don't really ask no questions. You just
do it. Yeah, gotcha.
And so I went to the Red Cat, and when I walked in, and I told the guy who I was, he went to the stage and he was like, oh, we got a special guest this evening. We have ONNEY to the stage. And I'm looking like I had never did my poetry in front of people. But when I got on the stage, it was almost like an alter ego. Like I turned into somebody else. And I spit. The women that approached me afterwards, and the love that I got just from performing was like, man, it made me feel seen. It made me feel like I was making an impact, and it became a thing, and it became therapy for me to go do poetry every Sunday, because I had a babysitter from 6 to 10 on Sundays. So I would go to the poetry lounge like 6:30, get on the open mic list, perform, be gone by 9:30, so I could have my kids home by 10. And that turned into ONNEY the Poetic Diva. And I started doing poetry everywhere, and then that turned into me doing poetry with a live band and adding singing and music to it. And then they were like, well, man, where can I get that? And so my daddy was like, well, you know what that means? That means you need to put an album out. So I put an album out called BU to Feel Music, pronounced Beautiful Music. And it was poetry and live band instruments on the album. And I didn't want to be like a Beyonce or Kelly Rowland or nothing. I just wanted to do it. So I did it. And once I did it, I was cool on it. But I was able to get tracks from that album on multiple movie soundtracks. So that
name
kind
some of the movies that to the public that
Rent-A-Car, it's called Rent-A-Car, produced by Frank White. I've also been on A Gangland Love Story, produced by Greg Carter. And in both of those movies, I actually played myself as well as an actress, as well as having my movies on soundtrack. It's another gospel movie because, mind you, you talking about 17 to 20 years ago. I've been in the game, so I don't remember everything. And then too, when I was a lot younger, I didn't understand the business part of it. I just wanted to be a part of projects. I just wanted to be heard. So I was doing a lot of work for hire or submitting my music to these soundtracks, not thinking that the movies would go anywhere. You know, a lot of independent movies, they just stay in your backyard, right? Because we didn't have the Tubies and all that.
Back it up.
So it wasn't until a couple years later when everyone was like, oh, Nay, I saw you in this movie in the red box, in the red box. That's when the red box was out.
Red box was
and
hot,
I did my research and found 2 of the movies that I was in got picked up by Maverick Entertainment, which was owned by Madonna. And had I had my paperwork right, I would still be getting royalties from those movies. But because I didn't, and I did it for work for hire, even the movie I did for Greg Carter, I wrote the poetry that Reagan Gomez and AJ Lamas recited. So the son of Lorenzo Lamas, and I was on the soundtrack. So I had so many different avenues in film that I was working in, and I just wasn't taking care of my paperwork. So I got a lot of bragging rights without checks.
So is Love Jones one of your favorite movies since you're a poet? Because I know Love Jones is a poetry movie. I love Love Jones. I love it's one of my favorite movies.
But you know,
I love it.
One of my favorite things that came out of the movie Love Jones is shout out to Seven the Poet. he did a Love Jones themed poetry night.
Oh, okay.
That was here at the Shadow Bar in Houston, and Lorenz Tate was there.
Oh.
And I was one of the performers for that Love Jones. So to say I got a chance to perform on the same stage with Lorenz Tate was pretty cool for the Love Jones in Houston.
Got to.
Yeah.
So name me your top 5 poets. Your top 5. You're a Mount Rushmore of poets.
Oh, well, Maya Angelou, number one.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maya
I
Angelou,
love her, yeah.
number one. I like Nikki Giovanni. But then I have, some younger poets here in Houston. I love Seven. I love MC Lyro's poetry. Who else can I say? Scott Free. It's so many poets that's alive right now that deserve their flowers that I enjoy. Aria Hope, she's a poet and a singer too. So there's so many different poets out there that inspire you in poetry. Gemini, Rochelle Gemini, shout out to her. She's doing poetry, film, plays, you name it. So.
Okay.
That was more than 5. But,
yeah,
you can't limit somebody that's outside the box.
I got you. So name me, what is your favorite poem of all time?
That I wrote or that?
No, that's of all time.
Still I Rise by Maya Angelou.
Okay.
Because Still I Rise, even though they said I wasn't going to be able to do what I do, Still I Rise. I am finally at the age of 46 where I can not feel the need to shrink myself or to be accepted, because when people ask me what I do, sometimes I turn around and ask them, it'd be easier if you ask me what I don't do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it won't sound like bragging.
Bragging, boasting.
But if I tell you what I do, you're not really going to believe everything I do until you Google me or look me up and realize that, oh, there's some validity to what she's saying here. So, Still I Rise is my favorite poem, though.
Okay. What is your favorite poem that you wrote that you did? What's a poem that
Mr. Incredible
that means a lot to you? That something like you asked me.
Well, actually,
you asked me though.
Okay, so my favorite poem that I've ever written was Mr. Incredible. My most intimate poem I've ever written was Liberation of a Brown-Skinned Girl. So, because that poem itself talks about, divorce, having children, being a single mom, being molested, being abused in childhood, growing up, not knowing my identity, trying to find my identity. And even though people may see you on the outside and give you praise, if that broken little brown girl inside of you still exists, you really won't be able to sit in the presence of the present, because you're still holding on to trauma that you need to let go. Okay. And so now that I've gotten to that point of breaking up with my prior self, I am a bold, beautiful, secure Black woman staring right back in the mirror now.
Okay, I love that. I like that. That's very beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you get into acting?
Funny story. So it was a guy that I was dating that was an actor. Okay. And he needed a ride to an audition, to a casting call.
Okay.
And so I went, just giving him a ride.
Giving him support like that. Your boo. I'm gonna support you.
I
got you. I'm gonna ride with you. Okay.
And he reading the script, and this lady walked out, and she was like, "Are you coming to Slate too?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just here. He's the one that's trying out." And so she was like, "Well, I think you should try it." And so him thinking I'm not really here to get a role, he was like, yeah, you should try it. So we ended up slating together.
Wow.
So I ended up getting the part, and he didn't.
Did he feel salty afterward?
Yes. He told me that I should not take the part, and if I took the part.
Hold up, wait a minute. He told you shouldn't take the part?
I should not take the part, and if I take the part, he didn't want to date me no more.
So obviously you're not talking to him because you're telling me this story
right
now.
If you gotta pick me,
my guy, you missed out on the good woman, my guy. Y'all could have been the power couple. Come on, like I said in the other episode, egos, you let your ego, you
Man,
fumble the bag, man.
It happens.
Look at Ongeg now. If he was still been with her, hey, man, hey, this could been your empire too, my brother.
But, so acting, it wasn't nothing I was really looking for in that aspect, because I had done plays, but not so much the movies, and I've written plays. Shout out to my girl, Bliss Gillespie. We co-wrote books together, and we turned them into stage plays and had them at the Ensemble Theater here in Houston. So I've done some of everything from film, from being, in the film, to now I love being on the opposite side of the camera. So instead of being in front of the camera, I like to be the one, I'm a casting director for whoever write the check, to be honest with you. But I've worked with Brothers Forever Productions, Clear Quality Media, Animotion Films. So they would basically hire me to come in and do the casting call, the typecasting, because I'm pretty good at identifying who's a perfect part for a script. And then sometimes on set, I may be needed to direct or whatever, because I know how to do that stuff. But I like that better than actually acting in a movie, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
It's like a painter, like the power is in the paintbrush.
Paintbrush.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite role you did, like movie, like your favorite role?
I don't really have one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't have a specific favorite. I will say my favorite experience.
Yeah, your favorite experience
was like working with Greg Carter and Gangland Love Story and Gary Sturgis and all of them, and being on set. That made me feel like I was where I was supposed to be, because there's one thing when you do local movies as opposed to when you're now on the set with, A-list actors. It's different. Yeah.
I understand it. So what was tell me your first big break in acting and poetry, like your first big moment, like your first big break?
I've had a lot of big breaks, and I had a lot of big breakups. So I still don't feel like I've had a big break, but I will say a pivotal moment in my career changed when I started podcasting. Okay. Because I went into podcasting to be a co-host on somebody else's platform. Okay. And the show didn't go on, and then people were like, "Oh, you need your show," and then I started my own show outside the box, and then that studio had closed down, and then I had to search around Houston for another studio and couldn't find one that was giving me the quality that I was getting from the Spear, and then it ended up with me going back and buying the Spear, and now I own the studio that I walked into. And not only that, it allowed me to have a creative space for other people like myself, other creatives that have a voice, that want to get out and be heard and be seen and monetize their platform. Or even if they've written a book and they want to do a podcast around that book, or they have a workshop, for me to be able to provide that space for the everyday working person, I'm excited to be able to do that. So that's really what I'm passionate about in this season.
Okay. What was a low moment for you? A moment where you had you think second guessing, hey, maybe I should do this podcast stuff. Maybe I should do this acting. Maybe this poetry stuff. I should do, because the woman that you are today. We see now. Was there a moment where you just feel like behind the scenes you're hey, this is a lot, I can't do this? Can you describe a moment at that, at the time?
So when I first got my first location for ONNEY Studios, I was so excited, and I went in for 3 months every day after, because I still work in corporate America. I'm my own bank. So anyway, after work, I'll go in there, I'd paint, I'd be doing installs, I'd be doing whatever I had to do for months. And I was selling sea moss and my juices, trying to make the money that I need to do to build this studio. So we do the studio, we build it out. I have this great big grand opening. I have, Ron Reynolds and other state reps come down, and it's red carpet, it's media, it's a big thing, right? Mm-hmm. So a month later, there's chains on the doors. And I'm like, what the heck
is going on?
Come to find out, the person that I was leasing from wasn't actually the landlord.
Scamming.
They were subleasing to me, and I was paying them, and they weren't paying the landlord. And it turned into a whole like court case situation, and the landlord didn't want to release my things to me. I had to then pay out Spear for all of their equipment that I was at that time currently renting from them. I had to pay that. Plus, now the big studio that was all over social media is no longer there. I felt shame, and then
you felt shame, like
yeah,
this crazy, like you.
Like I
At
failed
this day,
or
the
something.
youngsters say they think you were full of cap.
Yeah, like I was capping.
Like you got canceled. Pretty much you thought you were getting. Pretty much you thought you were getting canceled.
Yeah, it felt like somebody was a bad juju. And then, like right around that time, my son, he was in ICU. My other son had fell asleep behind the wheel and totaled his car. And then it was just like a lot going on all at the same time. And I felt like I didn't know what to do. I really felt like quitting. But God told me, don't quit, go bigger. And so that's how I ended up with a bigger space in ONNEY Studios, where instead of having one big space, I have multiple studio rooms. But that was a time that almost broke me, because a lot of people that see me, they may see me doing women conferences and panels, or doing sold out venues, doing poetry, or just any type of symposiums or anything like that. They see that. They don't realize I still am a loan operations manager for an investment firm. So I still work in the career field.
Yeah, people don't know I still have a 9-to-5.
You know what I'm saying? I keep a 9-to-5. I ain't never seen the cute.
Views on Tubi, and I still got a 9-to-5 that I go to every day.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm gonna say this to you. Ain't nothing cute about a broke CEO. I don't care what they telling you out there in them streets.
This stuff costs.
I have had people tell me, oh, you faking and shaking because a real boss won't have a job. Let me tell you something. Some of the best leaders were once the best followers, and you have to have a plan.
Correct.
And if my career job is my for show money until I get some more money, then so be it. But what I will not do is be out here and be a broke CEO, because I like getting my nails done. You know what I'm saying? I like driving a Mercedes. I like pulling up to the house that I pay a mortgage on. And so if it means I got to keep a job to keep those things, then so be it. Judge your mama. Don't judge me.
Okay, so let me ask you this question right here. What would a older ONNEY say to a younger ONNEY? What would she say? Now that you experienced all the stuff that you went through, what would you, the older ONNEY now, at this present moment in time, what would that ONNEY say to the younger ONNEY, and that was that team? What would that person say?
That you don't have.
Ooh, say that again one more time.
You don't have to fight to be loved. You know, so often and I'm still, even at this big age, still I do things, and I do it with my parents in mind. Like, oh, you know, I can't wait to make my mom and my dad proud. And then when they don't show up, well, I'm not gonna say they, but if one of them don't show up, then I'm kind of sad by the fact that they're not showing up, you know. And a lot of times we do things because we want to be loved. We may put up with less than we deserve because we just want to be loved. We may deal with backstabbing friends and forgive them and give them access to us again just because we want to be loved, or we want to be seen as the nice, the kind, the forgiving person.
Correct.
But at this big age, I realize that love is not something you should have to fight for. And if I have to fight for it, it don't belong to me. There's no such thing as struggle love. Like, if I got to struggle, now don't get me wrong. When you say, you know, for better or worse,
correct,
that means that if we together are a partnership, whether it's in business, romantic, or friendship, we are a partnership, and we both go into something together and we both take a loss. That's different than it being one-sided and the person that you are with are abusing you, putting their hands on you, cheating on you, having kids on you, embarrassing you. That's not the love that I feel like God has for me. So if it means that I have to be by myself, then I'll be by myself.
Okay.
I have a lot of people that I love, but I don't have a lot of people that I call my friend.
Okay.
Because I've had people that I felt should have protected me that didn't.
But they didn't.
I have people that have came to grab the fruit but not water the tree.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I have friendship PTSD because, again, my name perceives me. My reputation perceives me. So a lot of times when people see me, they don't see me as a person. They see me as an opportunity.
Yes.
And so
that's what we go through. People don't.
They'll come in like they want to help or
you.
They want to collaborate.
We don't know the angle.
Or
people think to being successful like it's
you
stressful.
ain't even got to do all that. Just tell me what you want and let me
just
give
be
you
honest
the price.
with me. Yes, give me the
That's
price.
it.
I feel because now since I've come up now, I told one of my cousins this and I told one of my friends this. I told a person, I said, hey, do you love Torian Goodman or do you love Goody Mo the comedian? Because Goody Mo the comedian, his connection, he knows this person, he knows this person. You know, you can have access to that. Are you going to love Torian Goodman, the normal person? That right there. So I truly understand where you coming from.
I've had so-called friends not show up to my events because they felt entitled to get in free. Yes. Can you help me understand how you are supporting me when you expect not to pay for an event I'm at? Make that make sense.
That I tell people.
That's not support.
Yes. No, it's not.
That.
You're not entitled to none because I tell people this all the time.
If people are paying me to do an event, whether they paying me to host it or perform at it, they've paid me a certain amount of money.
Yes.
They don't come with free tickets unless that's in my rider. So any tickets that I put on my list comes out
people
of my pay at the end of the night.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
Are you supporting me or are you taking food off my table? Which one? Because you can't do both. So for those friends out there that know who foot I just stepped on, yeah, you need to relook up the definition of support because free is not support.
Yes, because this is what I tell people. They be like, hey, Goody Bo, won't you make it? Oh, I'm gonna give me some money. Like I tell them, why would I give you that money? That's inevitable. I said I'll give you a job. I give you a job because if I give you a job, I'm gonna give you opportunity to make more money. If I give you money, then I'm inevitable on game. I'm not fit to do that because you didn't work hard and slave and stay up and study these lines or stay up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to study this character and still have to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning and 8:30 still have a full-time job and still do that and still maintain a family. You didn't do that, so why should I give you something for free?
Well, I lost a lot of friends when I started saying no.
Yes, no.
And when I started having boundaries.
Yes.
Those two things. Yes. I started to feel isolated. Because I'm going to tell you something. How you know if you're moving in alignment with what God wants you to do, if you get ready to do something and it triggers your nervous system and make you feel like you really don't want to do it, you're not blessing anybody. If somebody on the street asks you for $1 and you don't really want to give them that $1,
you don't have to give it to them.
Don't give it to them.
Because you know what the thing is, you know what this is? And I had to learn the hard way since I'm a nice person, but I had to really hard way to these people try to do something to you. They'll try to guilt trip you.
Yeah.
They'll try to guilt shame you.
But people that love you won't do you like that.
They'll try to guilt shame you and make you try to feel guilty. And it used to get to me. Now I'm like, nah.
That's a red flag to me now when I say no and somebody say why.
Yes.
What you mean why? No is a complete sentence. Correct. I don't owe you no explanation to my no. No. You ask me for something and I say no, I ain't got to make up no wine story to go with that cheese. I don't have to do none of that. All I have to do is say no. Because 9 times out of 10, if I tell you no because of something that's going on in my life, you can't help me with it anyway. You asking for help.
Like I tell people, I have a certain type of lifestyle. I like to buy certain stuff. You know, I like Jordan. So if I give you every time that you ask, then I have my family, then I'm not going to be able to do nothing. I'm going to go back to where I started at being broke. And you're not going to help me because you're asking me.
Well, you know, a lot of people have God complex. and I had that once before, and I didn't know I had the God complex. But that also comes from, a lot of people don't realize that being an overgiver is a sign of codependency. It's also a sign of not having self-worth, because now you're a people pleaser, and you're trying to convince people that you're a good person, and so you're a perfect target to be used and taken advantage of.
I used to do
because you're
stuff,
such a giver. And I've
just to please them, just know that I even want to do it.
I've always had people live with me. I almost like, let me move into a smaller house, because with these extra rooms, every time one come up vacant, somebody suddenly needs somewhere to stay. But, I was always a giver in that aspect. But once I was in a position where I couldn't give, I was too prideful to say I needed. But I wasn't able to give. And when I wasn't able to give, it was a dark time for me. It was in 2017. And I had broke up. I was single again. I had basically lost everything. But people were so used to seeing me drive my Mercedes and live in this nice place and wear these nice clothes. But I had, when you break up, sometimes you got to start over.
Again.
And I was basically starting over, and I think I was like 37 at the time, and I was starting over. But I was embarrassed because my relationship didn't work. And all of those things, and
the people that was
used, and my relationship was so public, so the people that was used
so I try to keep my relationship private. In the industry, I keep it private.
So the people that was used to calling me and asking me for stuff, I wasn't able to do it. They were mismanaging their money the whole time, and then whenever they needed to be responsible, they were calling me, and I was showing up. When I needed someone to show up for me, I didn't know how to call and say, "Hey, can I borrow?" Or "Hey,
because you're used to being
the
top. You're the boss. You ONNEY.
Yeah,
so it kind of humbled you to ask people for money. It happens.
I never carried myself like I was the boss, this, that, and the other, because I still go and clock in every day.
But you get what I'm saying, though. You got that image,
Right.
But
so I didn't want to go around begging.
And
so at that time, the people that was coming to me begging, and I had to say no, it was like all of a sudden I was selfish, or I thought I was too good.
You thought you too good.
The whole time I'm on a ramen noodle diet, and y'all out here mad at me. Okay, so it was like a real humbling experience for me to really learn, like, you've been pouring into people all this time and now you can't pour it back.
I need to start pouring into myself. I got to start giving myself. It was a moment I got to start giving myself.
And I had to literally get my stuff together so that I could get back on my feet. And after that, I will say, after time passed and people would avoid me like the plague because they were scared I was going to ask them for something. When I got back on my feet, when them same people tried to spin the block, I asked them, well, what have you been doing for the last year? Oh, well, I've been doing da-da-da. Oh, keep doing that.
Got you.
Keep doing whatever you've been doing.
Keep what you've been doing. Got you. We're gonna. I'm gonna end the show. I got a couple more questions, and I'm gonna end the show. Give me a fun fact about ONNEY that people wouldn't know. A hobby, a TV show, a movie, a skill, something people that don't. Okay.
I do resin and acrylic paintings. It started out as therapy, and then it turned into a blessing. God used that to make gifts for me. I'm an outside the box enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
I know what I'm trying to say. Enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
I love all things art. So whether it's acting, drawing, painting, poetry, film, podcasting, that's my thing. I like to read as well, and I'm a homebody. I love being at home. I don't know, it's my happy place.
Me too. People don't think that. People think they say, Goody Mo, man, we see you as this character, you carry on Big Uncle, see these characters, you do that. We don't never see you in the club. I'm like, no, man.
If you see me, I'm out the country.
I'm not really a club person because I go to the club if it's like a birthday party or something special for somebody, but I'd rather be at home, you know what I'm saying, with my kids. I'm not that celebrity that goes out all the time. I'm just like you. I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody too. I pay all this money for rent. I pay all this money for rent. I'm supposed to be at home.
Listen.
Hey man, I'm supposed to enjoy this. I'm gonna ask you this question here. Then we're gonna promote your new stuff, what you got going on, and give you IG handles. I'm gonna ask you this one last question. How do you feel about the entertainment industry right now, in a whole?
I feel like the entertainment industry, a lot of the talent is now being replaced with AI. And
Okay, yeah, that was my next
and I
question.
think
You
that's
already got in my
think
notes.
that's kind of unfair to the people that have natural raw talent, and I think that it would behoove you not to learn it. So I think that even though AI has taken a lot of the place of the singers, the songwriters, and the musicians, I feel like those singers, songwriters, and musicians could add to it if they learn AI and find other ways to monetize it. So it's a good and
I got a quick question. Do you remember the thing they had about the person that had the AI and won a Grammy or something?
yes.
What do you think about that situation? Do you think, but some people say AI, we use AI for certain stuff that's good, so.
She deserved it.
So do you think that she deserved it, or do you think she don't?
She deserved it because it still required a certain talent and skill to do it.
Okay.
If not, everybody would have been doing it.
Okay.
But if it wasn't for her doing it and achieving that, a lot of people wouldn't even be walking that path. So
like you don't think that she took it from the person that didn't have AI that really deserved it? That's what I'm trying to say on that.
No. What God has for you is for you.
Okay. So that was meant for her.
It was meant for her.
Okay.
It was meant for her. Now, her specifically finding that, doing that, great for her. Now, as a whole, how AI affects everything moving forward, it's affecting everything, not just the music and the entertainment. I mean, think about the movies. People doing full-fledged AI movies with no actors, and you can't even tell that it's AI.
AI, yeah.
So what happens to the actors in the community who's producing these films from scratch? What happens to them when AI take over?
It takes from us, because I feel like that's cheating the game, because
it is cheating the game.
It's really a crap.
But you better learn the cheat code, or you're gonna be left behind. You're learning the cheat code,
but I like it organic. I'm an organic type person.
Me too.
I'm organic. I like the numbers that we get. We really get these millions of views. We get it from the mud. Anyway, so ending the show, give me your Instagram handles and tell us what you got going on.
Okay, well, of course you can follow me myself, ONNEY The CEO. That's ONNEY The CEO on Instagram. You can also find my business handle, ONNEY Studios, ONNEY Studios. Also, I have my own talk show that airs on Wednesdays, Outside the Box with ONNEY. So that's Outside the Box with ONNEY. You can find me on YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, all the different platforms. Also, if you want to keep up with where I'll be performing next, what I'll be doing next, I would always suggest following me on Instagram, because I post my flyers and my events there more than anything. And of course, there's always Facebook for the older people. You can find ONNEY The CEO, ONNEY Studios, and Outside the Box on Facebook as well. So that's pretty much where I post my upcoming things. I don't necessarily like to drop exactly what I have going on in real time, because that dates the episode, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So if you rerun this thing back next year, the information will still be the same. You can still find me the same place, ONNEY The CEO, all things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was an honor, to have you on my show. You're one of my favorite persons. I just want to thank you, give you your flowers, because I let people know if it wasn't from you guiding me behind the scenes, I wouldn't be the person I am. So I want to thank you as a busy person, all the success I had. I want to thank you and give you the flowers of sticking with it and being behind me. I want to thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. And I'm so blessed to have you as a client and as a friend.
Thank you.
You have turned into family. And so you just keep going. You keep, hammering at these acting
I got another movie coming on too. I got another one coming.
So you keep doing what you're doing. We see you.
Okay.
And you proved a lot of people wrong, and I want you to keep doing it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
So for y'all that's watching, y'all keep on. Y'all, it's my code, but I always say stay plugged in, tuned in, tapped in this time to the Goody Mo Show, because we bringing all things good right here with Goody Mo, and I'm excited to be on his show.
Thank you. You know my slogan, see you when I see you. Peace.